Hi, welcome to Bring the Family Together, where we build purpose-filled families and businesses. My name is Tony Kyle. Hi, welcome to Bring the Family Together, where we build purpose-filled families and businesses. My name is Dawn Kyle, along with my husband Tony Kyle, and we're here to talk about parenting key number 3, co-create
correctly. We're going to just roll with that. Co-create correctly. And what is it? What do we have here, Dawn, is the quote there?
Oh, we as parents need to take a step back and say, how did I create this reaction?
Wow. You know, our children are our barometers. Can we all say that together? Our children are our barometers. And you know, a barometer, it detects the barometric pressure in the air. And what we talk about is that when our children are reacting a certain way, instead of just reacting to their reaction, we need to take a step back and say, how did we create the environment that they're reacting this way to? Because that's usually what happens.
As parents, we punish our children for reacting to the environment that we have created.
Oh, now Dawn, can we say that again? And you know, I really want you to write this down. We should have it come across the screen here too. But let's read that as we've written it here, Dawn. Go ahead.
It says, as parents, we are punishing our children for reacting to the environment that we as parents have created. So
what's happening, and we want to make this clear, we don't kind of said this again, but you know, let's say you've had a really rough day at work or even at the house. You're really frustrated. You come in, the children are there. You react with your spouse. I can't believe what happened today. It was terrible, and this happened and that happened, and you just got a short temper. You're upset. The children are witnessing all this, and you know, so for the first hour that you're home, you're just creating a negative environment. Then you finally calm down, and maybe you come and sit down, and next thing you know, you hear your children arguing in the other room, or having an issue in the other room, or they come to you and they're all upset with you, and you're like, "What's wrong with you? How come you're all upset?" And you're like, you might even say, "I've been dealing with everybody all upset all day. The last thing I need to deal with is your attitude too," you know. But you could have very easily. And here it was you that created an environment by coming in upset and negative, and then that just fed itself out into the family. In psychology, they call it tanking, where you've pushed your emotions a certain direction and it pushes everyone else's. So even though you calm down and you're kind of over it, the ripple effect has affected the whole family. And that's what we're talking about, really taking that step back before you react to their reaction to your reaction. I know we're getting a whole bunch of reactions there, but let's just make it clear. You come in, you create an environment. Your children react to that environment, and then you react to their reaction. You come in negative, you're upset, they get fed that, then they get upset, and then you react to them being upset and you punish them. But when you take that back and analyze it and look at it, you realize that you created it, they got upset, and then you ended up punishing them for an environment that you created and a reaction that you ended up creating in them. And we get that children can make their own decisions. And we're not saying that every decision that your child makes negative was a result of the environment you created. There's a lot of other sources, outside variables, school, friends, and all that, depending on what kind of family life you have. So we're not by any means saying that everything you do negative is causing all the negative reactions in your children. What we are saying is there are a lot of things that you're doing that you're not aware of that are creating that, and then you're reacting to it, and then and even punishing them for it. So
your children are in your boat of life. It seems like when we go sideways, they'll go sideways.
Yep.
If we're turning upside down, we'll see them turn upside down. But it's not like an immediate thing. It's like if we're having like a bad day, like on Monday, we won't see that reaction until maybe like Thursday or Friday or something. And then by that time, we're like over it, and we're like, hey, we're getting ready for the weekend, that kind of thing. I have a perfect example of a family that I heard about. The mom and the dad, they were just in their work life, were going through some things. They kind of were talking about it throughout the whole week, and they were getting frustrated about certain things and stuff like that, and kind of frustrated with each other. And they had a daughter, and it was just really eye-opening to the mom, especially because by Friday night she thought everything was great. They had a great weekend. It was just awesome. They had a really great family weekend, actually. And then come Monday morning, she everyone's getting ready to go to work, and she's trying to get the daughter ready for school. And she's like, okay, go get your clothes on, get ready for school. And the daughter, she's just like procrastinating. She's like, what's going on? You guys, you need to get ready. And she was getting very frustrated. And then the little girl, she just was reacting. She was like, she had a big fit. She did not want to get dressed. She did not want to cooperate whatsoever. And, she really had to sit down with her daughter and say, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you getting ready for school? And she just kind of started playing everything back in her head about the week that they had. And her daughter was actually acting out their exact behavior and her and her husband's exact frustrations about doing something that she did not want to do. And so she sat down with her daughter and apologized and got through that and got ready for school. And they maybe they were a little late, but they got through it.
Well, and like what Don just said, that's a perfect example that it doesn't always happen right away. If you have more than one child, their personalities are different. So, the ripple effect might be one day for one, might be right away for one, it might be a week for another. And that's where taking that step back and co-creating that environment, just like Don said, we've coached a lot of families that when we teach this part, the family's like, wow, I thought my child was upset about something that happened at school or something over here or something over there. I didn't know what was going on until I realized, 2 days ago, I absolutely got in an argument with my wife right in front of my child, and that upset them. And, when I really talked to them about it, I found out that's what it was. And then like Don just pointed out, they'll act the same way you do because you're teaching them. It's that learned behavior. They do what they see more than what you say to them to do. It's just a real example of patience, of taking that step back, because as parents, we so much want to react to that situation. Well, the child is drawing on the wall with a permanent marker, and you're just and you get all upset. The rules. We don't do that. Well, if they know that they're not supposed to do that, why are they doing it? And that's when you take that step back and go, if my child knows that, they're old enough to understand that, they know they're not supposed to draw on the wall with a permanent marker, but they do. Well, then they want attention, or they're very frustrated about something and want attention. And it could very well be something that you've done as a parent, or you and your spouse did in your communication, that's frustrating them, and they're letting you know they're frustrated, and that's the way that they're doing it. So often we just want to attack the trigger, the thing that's triggering their emotions or ours, instead of taking a step back and saying, what can we do that's different? The boat of life thing that Don was pointing out is so important. You'll find more of this in our guide to parenting. We really break it down in our guide to parenting, in our DVDs and CDs. That's got a really great example. We go into incredible detail on this boat of life and what we're talking about today, co-creating your environment. And we have ebbs and flows in our life, so we're going to tip this way and tip that way with our emotions, just because of the things that happen throughout our lives, the negative things and the positive things. So we'll do that shifting. And if you've been sailing, you know that the boat doesn't just sit upright. It goes this way, it goes that way. It's the ebbs and flows. It's just that when it's compounded, when you've got a lot of negative things going on, and it's compounded throughout the family, your boat just starts to tip, 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 and then it gets on the side. It's very dangerous to where it would all tip over. And we've got some great examples of that. But that's one of the biggest tips that we share right here is co-creating, just stopping and saying, how am I creating this environment that my child is reacting to? It's not going to be 99% of the time that it's something you did. It's not going to be every single time. But it's going to be a larger percentage than you realize. We've experienced that. So again, you can find this on our website, or our guide to parenting on our website at www.bringthefamilytogether.com. Our radio show, we talk a lot about this too, but we always recommend the guide to parenting even before you get the DVDs and CDs, because it sets up the foundation. That's got our book in it. Your child is already a genius, free their spirits, and it's got, the big thing is it's got those 4 weeks of parent exercises in them, and that just opens up the door. It changes the way you think, speak, and act with your children. So be sure to get that resource as soon as possible. It'll enhance your parenting and your marriage. God bless you, and have an awesome day.